At the start of the season, we witnessed the debut of the brand new Shifts&Giggles funny car team with driver Viper, and legendary crew chief Clutch Skid Mark.
Do you have to speak so loud?
If not for Dean Scusa in the final round, their series debut may have resulted in a trophy at the end of the day.
I feel like my head is going to explode.
The following week in the Arizona desert,
If I live through this,
out for revenge in the semi-finals against Scusa, the Shifts&Giggles car went up in smoke,
I'll never do that again.
and John Force would go on to win the event.
I swear.
At the Gator Nationals, everything would go right for the team and they would take out the world champion in the final round to claim their first NHRA funny car win, and the lead in the championship points chase.
Hey, where's Smarty?
Why can't I do one intro without being interrupted by someone? Wait, I thought Smarty was working with you.
No, I have a hard enough time getting pit access without him.
He's not here.
Uh-oh, this could be bad.
What do you mean?
I don't know if I should say.
Oh shit. We're on. Hello everybody, we're at the Strip in Las Vegas, for the Summit Racing Nationals on Speed Planet. I'm your host Paul Pager.
What are we going to do?
I'm going to enjoy a quiet broadcast booth. This is Jerry Tolliver completing his burnout, and we are just getting underway with our first of 4 qualifying sessions that will set the ladder for the elimination rounds coming up later in our show. Let me introduce our pit correspondent, Sally Anderson. Sally?
What? No, I just got here 5 minutes ago. I have no idea what's going on yet, except that Smarty is missing. Back to you, Paul.
Sally of course is referring to our colleague Smarty Reed, who should have been here an hour ago, but seems to be testing the limits of his probation here at the Shifts&Giggles network. I'm sure he's just passed out at a roulette table, or lost his way back from a brothel. In the meantime, we have a race to present to an audience of as many as 5 or 6 people. This is our best chance to impress you all with our professionalism. It's Viper and Tolliver, round 1 qualifying. Driver's stage. Both cars away clean. A good side-by-side run to start things off. Viper runs a 4.904 at 315 miles per hour in the Shifts&Giggles Dodge to land in the number 2 spot for now. Tolliver right behind him in number 3 with his 5.054 second elapsed time. I would like to tell you what's going on in these replays, but I'm told Sally has something.
Nope, still nothing. Back to you, Paul.
As you can see, both cars run pretty good, all the way down the racetrack.
Wow, Smarty was right. You really don't know much about drag racing, do you?
I was hired to read names and numbers off a monitor, and make sure my co-hosts don't say anything that pisses anybody off anymore. When did you last see him?
Last night, before I blacked out. That's all I can say, sorry.
Well, this is great. My apologies to our viewers, we're usually more professional than this.
What? Since when?
Here's a look at the qualifying order after the first qualifying session here from Las Vegas this afternoon. Jim Epler on top with a 4.904 of his own. Time for the second run of the day. Here you can see the track conditions for this round. I'm sure they mean something important, but when Smarty explained why during a previous episode, I couldn't bother to pay attention to him. Let's hope Sally has something to say. Sally?
I made it down to the Shifts&Giggles pit before this round of qualifying. They reported that one of the spare engines for the funny car has gone missing from the team's hauler. I asked if they suspected any specific team for the theft. He said they suspect it was a team of idiots. I don't like the sound of this, Paul. Back to you.
Sally, it sounds like you know something.
I don't know anything about a stolen funny car engine if that's what you're implying.
What exactly were you and Smarty doing last night?
I told you already, I can't say anything.
Why not?
Because what happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas, remember?
We're still in Vegas.
Crap.
We'll get back to that. It's Al Hoffman in the near lane, Viper in the far lane. Drivers ready. Good runs in both lanes. Viper runs a 4.938 and doesn't improve. Hoffman moves all the way to number 4 though, with his 5.097 second elapsed time at 311 miles per hour, in Jim Dunn's Moon Eyes Firebird. Now let's get back to Sally, who sounds like she has some explaining to do. Sally?
I told you, I don't know anything about a stolen funny car engine.
What do you know?
Smarty, former IT guy George, and I, went to try our luck at a casino yesterday afternoon. Smarty lost most of the money he had at a blackjack table. Before he got us all kicked out for starting a fight with a poor lady who was celebrating her 75th birthday in Las Vegas with her bridge club. He accused her of choking out the rest of the table with the 6 bottles of perfume she was wearing, and that's when the fists started swinging.
That's awful. I hope nobody was hurt.
I wish I could say nobody was. Unfortunately for Smarty, the old lady had a heck of a right hook, and Smarty lost 2 teeth. they landed on the roulette wheel, one on red 9, the other black 11, 911, kind of funny actually.
That's an amazing story, Selly, but it doesn't get us any closer to figuring out what happened last night.
After the police let us go, we all went back to Smarty's suite, where we may have drank 2 or 3 bottles of scotch, bourbon, gin, vodka, and tequila, while we played poker with the ladies from the Southeast Kalamazoo Senior Bridge Club. The last thing I remember is, Smarty opened the champagne you gave him as a sorry I stole your job gift, and we did belly shots off of Dorothy and Mabel. And Smarty and George saying something about margaritas. That's it, really. Back to you.
The Southeast Kalamazoo Senior Bridge Club.
That's right, once your eyes stop running and you get used to all the perfume, they're actually really cool ladies. Ruth apologized to George for kicking him in the face, while Gretchen had him pinned to the casino floor with her walker, and Betty even loaned Smarty a couple of her teeth, so he could sample some of her homemade chocolate brownies. Sweet lady. Back to you, Paul.
Okay, I lost track what qualifying session this is, but who really cares, it's only qualifying. Viper in the near lane, Del Worsham in the far lane. Drivers ready. Good start for both cars. Clean runs. Viper shows some consistency, running another 492 to stay number 2. Worsham runs a 5.014 at 315 miles per hour and moves all the way to number 3. I'm told Selly may have some information. Selly?
Thanks, Paul. I talked to the Shifts&Giggles team crew chief, the legendary clutch skid Mark, a few moments ago. He informed me that they had just received a call from the Nevada State Police. Apparently, after eventually following up on 218 noise complaints coming from nearby Boulder City, they were able to follow a 2-mile-long trail of empty and broken bottles and other debris near Bootleg Canyon Road, to what was left of a Speed Planet golf cart, with the smoldering remains of what appeared to be a funny car engine. There was nobody left at the scene, but somebody did take the time to draw a giant penis on a nearby rock in red lipstick. That's all for now, Paul. Back to you.
Well, I guess that was only the 3rd round of qualifying. Jim Epler still on top for those following. Hold on, we have a call coming in. Hello.
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 Can you hear me?
Smarty?
Hello. I can't hear you.
Smarty, where are you?
If you can hear me, I'm somewhere in the desert. Send.
Smarty. It looks like we lost him. Let's go down to Selly.
Thanks, Paul. I just got a text message from former IT guy George. It said, lost in the desert, coyotes ripped off all my clothes, lucky to be alive, climbed a cactus to escape. How are you? Does that help at all?
Actually a little bit. It confirms my suspicions that you are all idiots, and we now know that 2 of you idiots are lost in the Nevada desert somewhere. One of them is naked, and I wouldn't put it past the other. Thanks, Selly.
You're welcome.
We should probably get back to covering this race. I think this is the last qualifying round, and the tension and excitement is at an all-time high. The crowd and crews hold their breath, still and silent in the moment, as if nothing more than cardboard cutouts and a blurry painting on the bleachers. Oh, who gives a crap? The real story is in the desert, anyway. Corey Lee near lane, Viper far lane. Both drivers away clean. Viper on a really good run. The Shifts&Giggles team make the 2nd quickest run in the class this season so far, with a career best 4.831 second elapsed time at 316 miles per hour, to take their first number 1 qualifying spot this season. Corey Lee runs a 5.128 at only 303 miles per hour to improve his position to number 9. We have another call coming in. Hold on. Hello.
Hello.
Smarty?
Yes, it's me. I'm somewhere in the desert. I woke up this morning while being picked at by a few vultures in some canyon. My clothes are burnt rags and I'm caked in white powder. And I think former IT guy George might be dead. I haven't seen him since last night.
Can you hear any coyotes from where you are?
What? No.
Okay, have you heard any race cars, or seen any smoke rising into the sky every few minutes?
Actually, yeah. I see smoke clouds.
If those are from the cars doing their burnouts, you should be able to follow that to here.
But what about my clothes?
This is Las Vegas. If movies are to be believed, this is just a normal day here.
Good point. I'm on my way, I hope.
Hey Smarty.
What?
What happened last night?
I'd rather not talk about it, thanks.
Smarty.
What?
If you come across giant piles of coyote shit near a bloody cactus covered in pubic hair, be careful.
What?
Never mind.
Fine, see you soon maybe.
Maybe. I'm so sorry folks, our race analyst Smarty Reed should be here shortly, and we can get back to broadcasting the rest of today's racing action the way it's supposed to be done. It's time for round 1 of eliminations from the Summit Racing Nationals here in Las Vegas. We have our number 1 and 16 qualifiers set to, goddammit, we have to go down to Selly.
Sorry Paul, I just got an email from the Speed Planet producers I thought you should know about. It says, you incompetent morons, this season you've hacked into a team's laptop, insulted half the racers in the NHRA, forced us to hire an idiot host to keep you two in line, you've broken a team's toilet, and now one of you has stolen that same team's spare engine and used it to destroy a network vehicle while completely missing the event he was actually brought here to cover.
Sounds about right, Selly. Viper near lane, Frank Pedragon far lane. It's Viper away first, problems for Pedragon, then Viper as well. The Shifts and Giggles car going on to round 2 after pedaling to a 5.172 second elapsed time, while Pedragon sends up plenty of smoke signals to help guide our soon-to-be unemployed race analyst Smarty Reed back to the track to face the music.
You don't know how right you are, Paul. I wasn't done reading the email. It continues, this season you've hacked into a team's laptop, insulted half the racers in the NHRA.
Selly, you already read that part.
Sorry. On top of that, your ratings absolutely stink. It's a miracle when anyone even gets this far into an episode. These shows are a lot of fun, but a tremendous amount of work to make. If the network doesn't see a pretty significant increase in thumbs up and subscribers, as well as the odd comment here and there to prove we didn't actually bore the 8 people who watch this to death, then the network may be forced to put this series out of its misery, and you two morons will be out of a job. The network will then be forced to send that idiot Paul back to wherever he came from. Oops, I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't have read you that. Back to you.
Wonderful. I hate you two anyway.
But we like you, Paul.
Really? Why does nobody ever say, hey Paul, let's hit the casino, hey Paul, let's get face drunk, hey Paul, let's f some old lady from the bridge club?
We didn't do that. Okay, it's possible Smarty did.
Hey Paul, let's steal a funny car engine and see how fast we can get ourselves killed in the desert.
Would you have allowed any of that to happen?
Of course not.
That's why.
Although if you have a picture of the one that knocked Smarty's teeth out, hold on. We have Smarty on the line. Smarty?
This is Freaky Paul. I've been following the smoke. I found a trail of shredded clothes, and followed it to the bloody cactus, covered in pubic hair, with footprints leading away. It's surrounded by 7 or 8 dead coyotes. I can't tell what killed them. Hold on. Me, they weren't dead.
While my soon-to-be former colleague Smarty Reed either cuts himself to shreds climbing a cactus, or coyotes tear him to shreds if he don't. We're into round 2 here at the strip. In the near lane, as most times, is the Shifts and Giggles Dodge driven by Viper. In the far lane, it's Cruz Pedragon. Winner goes to the semi-finals. It's Viper away first. It's a good drag race. Viper takes the win with a 4.932 at 315 miles per hour to Pedragon's losing 4.983 at 314 miles per hour. If this is our last race, at least it's a pretty good one so far. Let's hear from Selly.
Thanks, Paul. I just got another text message from former IT guy George. It says, sorry guys, had to use the brownies I was saving to bring you all as bait for the coyotes. Made them act really weird. Were chasing invisible birds and stuff before all passed out. Unstuck myself from cactus. It's like Velcro after hugging so long, and think I am getting close to the track. Sorry again about the brownies. Back to you, Paul.
Thanks, Selly. Do you have anything to add related to this race here today?
Sorry, thanks for reminding me. I did get a couple minutes to talk to legendary crew chief Clutch Skid Mark, as they were getting ready for the semi-final matchup, against John Force. He said, lady, if you get in our way today, we'll make sure there's a restraining order keeping you out of our pits until the universe ends. Tell your idiot friends they're lucky they stole the engine we pulled out of the car last week. That was one run from blowing to shit anyway, and not the one we are using today. They better hope they still have a job after this race, because they're going to be paying that off for a long time with the shitty wage a broadcaster makes.
Thanks, Selly. Speaking of your idiot friends, we got Smarty back on the line. Smarty?
Oh f me, these things hurt.
Are you alright?
I'm alive, but I'm a long f***ing way from alright. Have you ever climbed a f***ing cactus without clothes? I got halfway up this thing, before one of the f***ing coyotes got a hold of my foot, and pulled me down onto one of those branch things that look like arms, where not only did I totally crush my balls, I took about 8,000 needles through the scrotum, and it's possible I lost at least 1 or 2 toes. I don't know, I'm afraid to look. Can you please come and help me?
I'm a little busy here. Sorry, got work to do. Good luck, hang in there. Sorry for my colleague's obscene language, he's just an asshole sometimes. Back to racing, it's the semi-finals here in Las Vegas and a rematch of the final round from our last race in Gainesville, Florida, where Viper drove the Shifts and Giggles Dodge to the Gator Nationals win. Viper is in the near lane, John Force far lane. Drivers staged. Force away first. Viper making a race of it, and takes down the champ in a great race, to make it to their second final round in a row, and third of the season. Let's go down to Cell E.
Thanks, Paul. I talked to the Shifts and Giggles crew chief, the legendary clutch skid mark on the starting line a moment ago. He said that sometime shortly before this round, one of the team's golf carts was stolen, and since that idiot Paul is still in the broadcast booth, Smart E is likely dead in the desert, and your stupid blonde ass is right here in our way. We're a little baffled by this one. Back to you, idiot, I mean Paul.
Holy crap, what else could possibly go wrong this weekend?
Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm pregnant, and I'm 66% positive you're the daddy. Congratulations.
Not funny.
Actually, you're right, that's not funny at all. In fact, I think I might vomit. Back to you.
I'm told we have Smart E on the line. Smart E?
Thanks, Paul. You know, while pulling these cactus needles out of my scrotum for the last little while, I got to do some thinking. I'm probably going to die up here surrounded by hungry coyotes. If these are my last words, I just wanted to tell you, that as much as these 6-inch long thorns I've been pulling from my testicles for the last 20 minutes hurt, when it comes down to it, nothing has been a bigger pain in my balls than working with you these past few races. And if I get eaten, digested, and turned to coyote shit right here in the middle of the desert, I'll still come out looking and smelling better than your useless ass.
George is on his way to rescue you.
What?
He made it back to the track a little while ago, while Selly was busy getting in the way of the Shifts and Giggles crew. I helped him borrow a golf cart to go get you. You're welcome.
Oh, I think the desert and loss of blood has scrambled my brains. Who am I talking to again? Mama, Uncle Francis, I'm sorry, I need to go now.
While Smart E works on pulling his feet out of his mouth, it's final round time here at the strip. With the Nitro Fish Camaro driven by Kristen Powell getting set to take on the hottest team in the class right now. The Shifts and Giggle Dodge driven by Viper, looking to win their second race in a row.
Wow, Paul, that was really sneaky of you.
Thanks. This is it, folks. Viper in the near lane, Powell in the far lane, for the trophy, money, and fame. Driver's stage. Viper with a big hole shot. Powell hanging in there. Viper takes the Summit Racing Las Vegas Nationals title, on a hole shot, running a 4.914, to Powell's quicker losing 4.890 second elapsed time. Viper was 0.08 of a second quicker on the starting line, and that was more than enough to hold off the Nitro Fish car at the finish line. What a great way to end things here in Las Vegas.
So, why did you do it, Paul?
Do what?
Risk your job to save Smart E.
While you might be a moron, and Smart E is most definitely an asshole, we're a team, and you guys obviously need me.
Not to sound ungrateful, but you've been here for 3 races now and you haven't exactly, never mind. Thanks, Paul.
And thank you all who have made it this far in our story. If you had fun and want more, make sure to smash the shit out of that thumbs up button and subscribe, hit that bell, comment and share and all that. On behalf of Selly, Smart E, former IT guy George, legendary crew chief Clutch Skid Mark Viper, and myself, so long, until we meet again.
We're back, guys. What did we miss? Where is everybody? Hello?